Everybody, and welcome to our Channel 5 IMTV, Greenville Senior High School, home of the Greenville Green Wave, Never Stop Serving. And we have a great episode for you. We just keep getting better every time we do this. Happy New Year to everyone. We're back after the New Year break. And of course, Greenville High School is back in session, so we're back in session. We're always thankful to all the folks here at IMTV that help us out. If you don't know what we're doing here, this is our fifth episode, and we're very proud. We're at number 5 already. We have a great guest with us. We'll get to him in just a second. A few administrative notes, though. If you haven't seen our stuff, check us out on YouTube. We've got other episodes. This is our 5th. We've got some other extras in there and some other stuff we've been doing. The idea is to put as many veterans' memories and as many veteran, as many veteran memories and so forth on digital format as possible for generations to come. We had our talent show. There's still a DVD for that. And if you haven't got the DVD for that, I must tell you, spoiler alert, there's a 50-year-old man in there, Dennis Young, wearing a dress. So if that's not enough to entice you, I don't know what will. And we also have T-shirts, and they made good Christmas gifts. I wanted to show you this picture, and this picture might be a little hard to see, but IMTV, I'm sure they'll be able to edit in a picture right now and show it to you. But they're the whole family in Las Vegas. Bought one for Christmas. Very happy for that. And those are still available for order also. And of course, at the Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library, we always need help, whether financial or if you give us your ideas, universities, anyone, please reach out to us if you can help us with anything. There'll be a graphic at the end of the show to show you how you can contact us. There's many different ways we've got going on. But like I said, it's our 5th episode. We have a great example of Never Stop Serving. As you may know, we have people on here that not only serve their country as veterans and serve their country honorably, but they've continued to serve by what they do now, or what they did after they were done and they may be retired now. So those are the people we're looking for this show, but we're always interested in veteran stories. If you want to share yours, please reach out to us. We'll get right to our guest today. He's a very interesting fella. I always like to let them tell their story more and not to try to steal their thunder too much, but I will tell you he's a veteran, and of course he's still serving. He is the police and fire chief of Union, Ohio. Mr. Mike Blackwell. Thank you for coming, Mike, very much.
Good morning,
Appreciate
Mike.
you being here.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Mike is also an officer for American Legion 707. Mike, if you would, please start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, where you were raised, where you came from, where you went to school, all that stuff, where you served, how you served, and anything else you'd like to serve.
Sure. Good morning. As he said, I'm the police and fire chief for the city of Union, public safety director. I grew up in Englewood, Ohio. I went to Northmont High School, which back then was a rival of Greenville. So I graduated in 1990. Just prior to graduation, I started becoming a cadet with then the Randolph Township Fire Department, which is now the Englewood Fire Department and Clayton Fire Department. So yeah, the last 2 years of high school, I was a cadet. I was taught the basics of firefighting just on a volunteer basis. I learned a lot. And through that venture as being a cadet, I knew I wanted to be a firefighter when I grew up. So I met lots of people. I met law enforcement, fire, EMS. And by meeting those people, I kind of also wanted to be a police officer. So most of the police officers I met said, go to the military. That's probably the best way to learn what you want to do, get discipline. Just so many positives about joining the military, and it'll help your career in law enforcement if that's what you want to do. So that's what I did. I joined the Army in 1990 during Desert Storm, and I went to basic training during the Air War, and I was an infantry soldier. 11 Bravo was my MOS, and from there I went to Fort Riley, Kansas.
I'm sorry, where did you go to basic? Benning?
Yes, I went to Fort Benning, Georgia.
11 Bang Bangs, that's where they go.
That's where they go, Fort Benning, Georgia, for the basic and their AIT training. And also, we did mechanized training with the Bradley Fighting Vehicle there as well. So that's the basics part of the growing up. And I've got a brother, one brother. He's a police officer as well. He wasn't in the military. He's a Montgomery County Sheriff's deputy. My parents, they still live in Inglewood.
Okay, and when you and did you go to Desert Storm?
I did go to Desert Storm during the.
Could you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was at the end. Basically, we didn't get involved in too much. It was just a 6-month tour just to get everything cleaned up and brought back to the States.
Right.
It was really basic.
More customs or oh, so you were just cleaning up over there?
Yeah, just kind of pulling security.
Yeah, it didn't last very long, of course.
No, it didn't last long at all, and that's why we didn't do too much with it. So. And
when did you get out of the Army?
I got out of the Army in 1993. From Fort Riley, I went to, had orders to go to 2nd Infantry Division in Korea. So I spent my last year of the Army in Korea.
Yeah. Tondachan, or were you?
Yep, Tondachan.
Yeah. That's
Warrior Base.
TDC. That's up there by the DMZ. That's where 2nd Infantry Division is.
Right.
Yeah, I think they still are.
Yes, they're still there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. And anything you want to share about Korea? What that was?
Korea was. I enjoyed it. Of course, I wasn't married. I was young, so I didn't have a lot to worry about back home. So it was fun. I learned a lot about Koreans, just a different ethnic, diverse group of people. I actually had a roommate who was a Korean because the ROK Army, they are actually, they're mixed in with the United States Army over there.
ROK Army is Republic of Korea.
Yes.
Army. Yeah.
Yes. And very, very neat people. They're fun. Learned a lot. Actually, my roommate, he was.
They're hard, aren't they?
Yes, they're very hard.
Yeah.
Every male in Korea has to serve, and maybe even females.
Right.
They have to serve 2 years of their life in the Army, and which I think is pretty neat. They're neat people.
Yeah. And then also another acronym over there in Korea, I don't know if you mentioned them, there's KATUSAs too. And those are Korean augmentees to the U.S. Army. Did you ever have any of those?
No, I did not.
Really?
No.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you left, so Korea is where you ETS'd.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you came back home. What
Yep.
happened?
I came back in November of '93. I was sent to Fort Lewis, Washington, to do my ETS. I spent about 3 weeks there, and then I came home. I went to Sinclair. I used my GI Bill. Went to Sinclair to the police academy, and that's a great deal. I didn't have to pay a dime for the police academy using my GI Bill. And then I got hired on some small police departments while I was in the academy. Enon Police Department. That's where my first police department was. I got back on the Randolph Township Fire Department right as soon as the first day I got out of the Army. I got back on with that fire department. So I spent probably 3 or 4 years with Enon. At the same time, I also started working for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office as a corrections officer. I learned a lot doing that. I learned about people. I learned how to deal with people. I learned a little bit more discipline. I learned a little bit more about how the law enforcement system works, the courts, just in general, everything, just coming out of police academy, you don't know, you learn a lot on book, but you don't know what to do and what the experience is all about.
Right.
So I was working for Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, the Enid Police Department, part-time. Sheriff's Office, I was full-time. Then I started working for Perry Township Police Department in Montgomery County also. So I was working for two police departments part-time, Sheriff's Office as a correction officer, and then I was also volunteering at the time for the Randolph Township Fire Department. So,
wow.
Yes.
Busy man.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I learned a lot. It was difficult. I didn't know where I was at sometimes and which uniform to put on, but I managed. Again, I was young. And then the City of Union came along in about 1997. I started working for them part-time. I resigned Enid at that time. I couldn't take on another police department. About 1997, at the same time, I became a dispatcher for the Sheriff's Office. I left the corrections, became a dispatcher. Another, a great step to be well-rounded. I learned a lot in the dispatching field also. In 1998, at the Sheriff's Office, I started working at the prisoner work detail program and also transporting prisoners from prison to the Sheriff's Office, from the jail to prison. Learned so much doing that. And then around 1998, I resigned from Perry Township. It was getting to be too much. So I did the transport and the prisoner detail until about 2000, and that's when the City of Union came along and asked me to become the police lieutenant full-time for them. It was a huge career step for me. It took me several months to decide if I needed to do that or if I wanted to do that. Because, at the Sheriff's Office, it was a great job. I was learning a lot. There was a big future there. But I decided to do it. Again, young, I needed to take a chance and take a big step. And I did it, and it's actually worked out for me. So I've been with the City of Union since 2000. In 2003, I became the police chief. I was promoted to the rank of chief of police. At this, I'm still working on the fire department as a part-time employee, basically volunteer. And then in 2005, they needed a fire chief.
Really?
And they asked me to do it, and again, another career opportunity for me I couldn't turn down, and I took the job.
How unique is that? Is that common for smaller cities?
It's not too common. There are.
The reason I asked, I've never heard it. I've never heard there was both.
Yes, most departments across the country that have a combination of police and fire, they're called public safety departments.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In Montgomery County and in this area, I can think of one that is completely public safety, where the police and fire departments they do both, and that's the city of Oakwood.
Yeah.
However, the chief position as public safety director, at the time when I was doing it, when I first got promoted to both, the city of Trotwood, they had a public safety director, police and fire chief, and the city of Clayton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Now, today, I'm the only one.
Yeah. Well, the biggest reason I ask that is because I have some policing background myself, but I don't know anything about fires.
Right.
Yeah, it seems to me that'd be two different, I don't know, at the academy, do you learn fire also?
No.
Yeah.
I went through the fire academy in 1990. I forgot to mention that.
So
yeah.
that was something separate then?
Yeah, yes, because that was right before I went in the Army. JVS, now it's CTC.
Oh, right here, okay.
Yeah, they had a program at the time, a 36-hour volunteer fire academy. So I went to that. It's just a basic firefighting class, 36 hours. Since then, I went through the career fire academy, 240-hour fire academy.
Right. All right. All right. Well, that again, a great example of somebody that serves their country and then continues to serve the country. Thank you for being the epitome of what we're talking about. What else would you like to share with us? Anything?
As far as growing up, with
Growing
my
up,
family,
or anything you'd like to? I know that I know you're an officer.
Okay.
With the American Legion.
Right.
Want to talk about that?
Sure.
Because well, first let me bring you into this first. I'm a longtime VFW post member, but I've just recently joined the American Legion. And you know, a lot of people would say, well, why did you join the American Legion? You know, you could have a long time ago. Well, somebody asked me, and Mike asked me. And that's why I'm a member of 707 there, that he's an officer to. Why don't you tell me about that, how you start with that?
Okay. So when I got out of the Army, I didn't know what the American Legion was. I didn't know what the VFW was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was familiar with it, and I thought it was a bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the perception, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but that's the perception that everybody has about
Right.
the veterans organization. Well, my dad, he signed me up.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a veteran also. He was in during Vietnam. So he signed me up. So I'm a 23-year member of the American Legion.
Because you joined as a son or something?
No, I joined. He joined, you know, he signed me up right away. He just did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I am actually an SAL as well.
Right, right.
But, so...
Tell everybody what SAL stands for.
Okay, yeah, Sons of the American Legion.
Yeah.
You know, sons of veterans, grandparents that are veterans, great-grandparents, stepdads can be an SAL member. I would encourage that if any of you out there that are sons of veterans, look into that. It's a very good organization. So I really didn't start getting involved with the American Legion until just about 4 years ago. You know, between when I first joined and then I just went up occasionally with my parents to have dinner, have a drink. But I really started learning about what the American Legion and veterans organizations, they do for people and do for veterans and do for the community. And that intrigued me. And, you know, I'm always, during my job, I'm doing it as a job. Well, I really wanted to reach out and do something because I wanted to and because it's for veterans and the community. So I started going up, helping raise money during events, dinners, any kind of event that was going on. I thought, I'm going to put in my time. And then people started talking to me, you know, why don't you become an officer? And I was a little hesitant because, you know, I have responsibilities and I have stress at my job. I don't want to add this, you know, when I'm off duty. But I started thinking about it and I thought, you know, this is what I need to do. These older veterans, the Vietnam veterans, they've been doing it. They've been serving their organizations for years, and they're getting tired of doing it. So it was time for the younger veterans to step up and start putting in their time to support the organization. So once I did that, I started off as an executive board member. I spent a year doing that, just kind of making decisions around the post and being involved and being a part of that. And then after the first year of being an executive board member, I became the first vice commander. And the first vice commander, that position is responsible for memberships, getting people to become members. And that's a difficult task, and I think one of the most important tasks of any veterans organization.
It is, especially in this day and age. And like you said, the younger generation trying to capture those.
Yes.
And I believe, and it's part of what we're doing here, we have to capture them as far as digital stuff, because if it's not on their phone, it's not there.
I know, yeah.
So you have to get on their phones, and you know, why do we have to? Because veterans organizations are losing membership, and so clearly that means they're losing voice.
Right.
If we want to get our membership back, why does it have to be part of a building? Couldn't we get virtual members?
Sure.
Right? Couldn't someone be a member of the American Legion 707 and live in Portland, Oregon.
We do, absolutely. Yeah.
And you know, still have contact with us, still help us out. You know, that's to me needs to be the new wave. The old wave of the bars and everything else you're talking about, it's not sustainable.
No, it's not.
Yeah. It's just not sustainable. We need to come up with new, fresh ways.
New ideas.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, we're losing members, and World War II veterans are dying off.
Right.
Even some Vietnam veterans are starting to die off. So, you know, there's tens of thousands of veterans out there that were like me that don't even know what the VFW, the American Legion, is about.
It's millions, Mike, because like you said, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, those not only are they tired, I mean, we're losing them quickly. The new generation, there's millions of new veterans out there, unfortunately, from these wars, and they're actually underrepresented because, you know, these organizations aren't getting them in.
Right.
It's a double-edged
That's a
sword.
good point.
It's hurting them and hurting us, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. You should look into your veterans organizations and see what they have to offer. Again, thank you very much for that. Anything else? Anything else about what's coming up in the Legion? What do you got going on in the next 3 months there at the American Legion 707?
Some events that we have going on. Well, the next 3 months we have. I know this Friday, to actually tonight, we have a steak dinner, ribeye steak dinner. That you know, it helps us raise money so we can support veterans and support the community. Wow, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I know we've got several events.
Yeah.
I know in March 15th is the birthday of the American Legion, and I believe it's the 97th.
For Inglewood?
No.
Oh, for Legion.
American Legion, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. You know, we try to.
When is that in May?
March 15th is the birthday of the American Legion. Yes, 1919.
Awesome. Is that, and last time, and I'm hoping to get back to a meeting this month, but are they still working on that I like the shooting idea?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about that.
I'm not.
That's one of its kind, and that's the kind of thing we're talking about, new ideas.
Yes, the American Legion, the National, they do have a program for shooting with children and teaching children how to shoot and gun safety, and you actually, you know, put a small range in your American Legion, or if somebody donates space, and you start off with maybe airsoft guns, BB guns, and you work your way up to maybe a .22 caliber gun. We're looking into starting that program for the community. Again, it takes a little bit of money. We've got some community support so far to assist us with that. Hopefully within the year 2016, we will have that program implemented, if not soon after.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Some great stuff there. Some great stuff that Mike and all the folks at American Legion 707 are doing. Mike, I want to thank you personally for being here and coming all the way here to talk to us, share your story and stuff like that. And,
sure.
and thank you for Never Stop Serving.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
All right.